podcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is season 7, episode 17, episode number 287. How's it going?
Good.
Pretty good.
Happy November.
I know.
Happy November.
We are.
It's like January, basically.
I know. We are solidly at the end of the year.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah, this is just like the time of year where it just feels like a flat out sprint to the end of the year.
Yes, I 100% agree. Like, I can't even. At this time, when we're recording next week, it's going to be election day for midterms.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, which I'm like both dreading. Like I'm looking forward to it because it will be nice not to be just sort of like baseline stressed out and like anxious. But then I feel like it might be replaced by a different type of fear and dread.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like it's concerning all around.
I know it's very stressful. I've had to stop listening to like the Daily and any of the other. I listen to Pod Save America still, but I've had to like really cut back on all of the other political podcasts that I listen to just because they're so doom and gloom. It was stressing me out.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be this hard, y'all. It shouldn't be this hard.
Yeah.
Today, one of my Facebook memories, I can't remember how many years ago it was from, but at least a decade. And it was my status update was that I was so excited for the election. And that's just not really a feeling anymore.
Well, yeah, 2012 would have been Obama's second term.
Yeah.
So, damn. Wow. What a decade. We've come a real long way in those 10 years. Not sure I like it, but here we are.
Yeah, we're someplace.
Someplace. We've made some strides. We have,
That's true. It's not all bad. It's just currently not great.
Exactly. One step forward, 15 steps back, but we're still getting that step. There was this interesting Twitter thread today. It wasn't even like a thread, but it basically was saying how most of the polls you're hearing that are saying that Republicans are up are actually Republican-run polls, and they're in such like panic mode about the midterms that they're just trying to flood the zone, like just flood it, like we're up, trying to suppress Democrat votes. So
you're up, so just stay home.
No, like saying we're up, so you stay home. Like you don't have a chance. So I think I'm just PSAing this now to say if you're one of those people out there, and I'm guessing if you're listening to this right now, you're probably not. But if you are, or if you know anybody that's staying home because you think it's pointless because Republicans are going to win anyway, please don't. Please don't. It's so important. Please don't.
Please go.
You must vote. And if you're in New York, go vote against the dude from Long Island. Because I guarantee you, very few good things come out of Long Island. I'm one of them, but that's about it. No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding with that one. We also have like Lori Loughlin and Ralph Macchio, so, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Ralph Macchio is great.
Yeah, he is great.
Right? He hasn't had any sort of
I don't think so.
Terrible press things, right?
I don't think so.
It hasn't been uncovered that he's like actually a horrible person.
No, not that I'm aware of. And please don't tell me until after Election Day if I am wrong.
Yeah, let me just have that, please. Let Ralph Macchio be a good person. He was on Wait, Don't Tell Me like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Oh, really?
Promoting whatever the new season of Cobra Kai. And I was just like, he just sounds so delightful and like sweet. And he's like, yeah, sometimes I like drive down like the Long Island Expressway, and sometimes I sing. Like, what was? I want to say "Eye of the Tiger," but what's the big song from Karate Kid?
Is it Eye of the Tiger is? Oh shoot!
It's like you're the best.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, yeah. Sometimes I sing that to myself to pump myself up. It was very cute. So like, if I found out he was like a terrible person, but it would just make me very sad.
He lives in the town next to, if he still lives where he did, he lives right by my aunt's house, actually, which is about 15 minutes from my parents' house. And all of my time on Long Island, I have never run into him. And that kind of makes me sad.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah, it kind of is. Saw Bill O'Reilly once, who also lives on Long Island.
Not surprising.
Wow.
Well, it's hard to miss Bill O'Reilly because if you've ever seen him in person, that motherfucker is tall.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, super tall. So he used to live in a town where my dad used to work, and we saw him in town one day, and I can still picture it, and, like, it was not super close. It was, like, across the street, and that motherfucker was tall. And I was like, oh, okay. Like Lurch, like that tall, like super tall. Anyway,
yeah.
Enough about him because Halloween is over. Speaking of, how... Not Lurch. Not Lurch. Enough about our fellow Marist alumni.
Son.
Yeah, Marist is a... all right. Anyway, Halloween. How was it, Amanda? The parade. Was it everything you dreamed it would be?
I think we missed the parade part, but it was still very crowded. So there's this one big house in our neighborhood that's nicknamed the Halloween House.
Ooh.
It's owned by theater people. So they go all out. They have 800 animatronics that they line up all around their porch.
Yes.
And they kind of are the Mr. and Mrs. Mayor of Halloween in our neighborhood. And
awesome.
So they used to do a parade, and then it stopped for the pandemic, and this year it was back, and they got stilt walkers and those crazy giant Mardi Gras type puppet things, and it was pretty cool. And little girl had herself a good time. She is working on her last set of molars, so she's been just generally kind of a terrible grouch to be around, which is a real bummer for everybody. So she didn't really participate in the daycare Halloween party. So we got one video in the morning. And we're like, oh boy, here we go. She wasn't in the video, and then we didn't get any more videos. So I was like, oh no, she had a bad day.
Aww.
So yeah.
I'm
so it
sorry.
was that was a real bummer, and we couldn't get her costume on in the mornings. We gave them the costume, and we're like, we might not get to go to the parade. We might have to just go straight home with a very grouchy baby.
Aww.
She came out of the door at daycare in her cute little costume. She kept it on the whole time.
Yay!
She was super into it. She enjoyed seeing everybody else in costumes. She was really into the Halloween house and all the animatronic stuff. She was staring at the zombies for an uncomfortably long time. I was certain we were going to have nightmares last night, and she slept just fine. So awesome. I don't know what that says about her. She might be a horror movie
girl after my own heart.
But yeah, we had a really good time.
Awesome. She looked adorable in her costume.
It was really cute.
Yeah.
It all worked out for the best, and we were home and done by 6:30. It was great.
Even better. That's awesome. Speaking of costumes working out, so I completely worked myself into a tizzy, just trying to figure out what we were gonna do for ours, because Jay's Ken shirt, so it had been in Jamaica Queens since the 23rd, right? So the Sunday the 23rd, I think it was. And then all of a sudden it moved to Newark on Sunday the 30th. And I was like, ugh, all right, well, I think we need to have a backup costume. It's not going to get here in time. And then on Halloween, it said that it arrived in Raleigh at 6 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, well, it's not going to get here because it's not out for delivery. It's, it just got here. So it's got to be processed, blah, blah, blah. So I, drove to 4 Spirit of Halloween stores to try to find. My backup idea was I'm going to get the sexy Beetlejuice costume with a wig, and we'll be Ken and Barbie next year. And I'm going to do because Jay was Beetlejuice for his Geek Dead Life channel, YouTube channel. And we will just wear the makeup, and we'll do a who wore it better kind of thing. And it'll be funny that way. And there was no sexy Beetlejuice costumes left. And there was the suit itself, but Jay was like, Jay didn't like the suit, and I was like, I could do the suit, but like it was $60, and like the sexy Beetlejuice costume and the other Beetlejuice costumes were only like $30, and I was like, I also don't $60 like this costume. Like
that's a lot.
I was like, I can't justify something that, I can't
It's a
justify
backup
this.
costume,
Right? Because if the shirt comes in time, like we're gonna do the Ken and Barbie thing. So like, and then I'm gonna hold on to this costume for a full year, and it's gonna be the one that was my second choice, where I wanted the skirt version instead of like the suit version. So I ended up like admitting defeat and like coming back. I was texting like all day Jay. I was like, tell me if it gets delivered. Is it delivered? Is it delivered? And then at 3:30 it hadn't been delivered yet. And he like walked out to the mailbox and everything. It wasn't there. And then my phone died. So I had, I was like, well, you know what? It is what it is. Like if I don't have to dress up, whatever. I actually went to Pure Barre and I had gotten fox ears and wore an orange workout shirt and black pants.
Oh,
and,
cute.
And gloves and a tail, and I won first place in a Pure Barre costume contest.
That's awesome.
Got a $5 Starbucks gift card, so that was awesome. That was like
That's almost one coffee.
Exactly, and that was $10 from Target, that whole thing. But like, anyway, so like, I was like kind of freaking out, like to the point where like I was like so anxious because I didn't know what was going to happen. And I finally was just like, whatever. So like I picked up the kids from school, we get home, and we get home at like 4:30. So in that hour between when Jay checked the mail and I got home, it was there.
Oh,
so like literally
miracle.
arrived in the nick of time, like perfect timing. So we were able to do that, and it was great. And yes.
Nice.
And I drank for the first time in over a week, and I had a super massive headache this morning, so that was awesome.
No.
I was like, oh my god, I'm getting so old.
Just didn't drink enough water.
I did, though. That's the thing. I was counting my water intake to make sure I had at least a gallon. Well, just Mama's getting old. Mama's getting old. It was rough, and actually, like, if I'm speaking honestly, like, the not drinking last week I thought was going to be pretty easy because dry January is generally hasn't been that bad. But it was really hard, actually. Like it was hard. Like I couldn't sleep. I was really, really cranky by like Wednesday, which is like what 4 days I'm not drinking. Like I was super like just cranky and irritated with everybody. Like, and I was just like, And Jay was like, well, you're older. Your body's changing. Like it's like starting and stopping things aren't going to be as easy as they were. So I don't know. Like,
well, it's like the days are longer. It's like, the days are still
that too.
Getting darker, and it's the end of the I know it's like arguably there's not that much of a difference between December 31st and January 1st as there is between, like
but like dry January
and
is
October
something
6th,
like,
but it's just like it's the mental of like a year changing over, getting all this new energy. Like
right.
it's just you're
and
mentally
like,
in a different space.
And that's an event you work yourself up for, like dry January. You're like, all right, we're not going to drink for the month. We're going to be okay. Like it's going to be fine.
And you have a whole holiday season of like indulgence where you're sort of,
right,
like,
where your whole body
is
ready
to be like, I'm ready for like self-care and some detox.
Yes. Whereas it actually felt like withdrawal last week, and I was not prepared for that. And then like at one point, like I was like super like just anxious and whatever. And like I had this thought when I went to sleep. I was like, is it your medicine working, or do you just sometimes drink so you shut this stuff off? So, like, there was a whole lot of... And then I was like, or is that just, like, crazy me talking right now? Because I'm going through some things. So, I don't know. It was a really weird week. Like, I don't know. I was also, like, in the middle of my cycle. So, I don't know if that, like, had anything to do with it. Like, it was a really tough week.
Aw.
But
I'm sorry it was a tough week.
No, that's all right. I mean, it worked out in the end. I didn't have any bloat for the pictures and the costume, so it was worth it.
Worth it.
So, like, I checked off all the boxes. in the end. I bought another pack of the fake beer, though, so I'm going to try to keep that up at least. Because it is tasty. But anyway, I don't know.
Nice.
If you have any tips, anybody out there, I don't know. Apparently, yeah. Oh, it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but it was a harder week than I had anticipated. And when we went through 2020 and realized we were drinking too much, and then I was doing that thing where I was taking the alcohol to my office from Monday through Friday and then bringing it home, even that wasn't difficult to give it up for those the weekdays. So yeah, I don't know. I'm getting, either I psyched myself up about it too much and overthought it, or I'm getting older or something. I don't know. It wasn't great though. I didn't love it.
Perfect storm of stuff.
It was, yeah. Didn't love last week, but made it through.
Oh, and here we are in November.
Yeah, good times. Speaking of November, Patron Secret Santa is upon us. So...
Oh, boy.
I saw the post and I saw the picture, but I didn't see the link.
The link is in there. Also, you should have gotten an email about it, too.
I also didn't get an email.
You didn't?
Yeah, I did.
Is the universe conspiring against me for Secret Santa? I can't find the link.
I will send you... I can send you the link.
Because I was but that's not the link?
No, the picture wasn't the link. The link should have been in the post. If not, I'll send it to you so you and Fran can sign up.
Okay.
Yeah, because the email, I just happened to check it when I was pulling up the outline, and it says it's from Colleen.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, at least mine does it. It has your name as opposed to
coming from Elfster, which is okay. Well, that's
exactly.
good to know. When we went trick-or-treating yesterday, Zach was this inflatable SpongeBob. And he was
amazing. And it was so cool. I don't know how he sees in that. Where were the eyes?
The eyes actually were net. So he could see out of that, but he had no peripheral vision.
I would imagine he would.
He totally fell a couple of times trying to walk down stairs and hills because he couldn't see.
Although I imagine all that, he probably had a fair amount of cushion, so it probably felt kind of cool.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but it was in the 70s yesterday while we were trick-or-treating, so he was sweating midway through where he had to unzip, and Jay was pouring water into his mouth because he couldn't use his arms, and it was so funny. But at one point he just kind of gave up and just had his head out at the top, and we had to keep re-zippering it up because he was drenched in sweat. So he was I'm never doing an inflatable costume again, and we were perhaps it is best to... I think the inflatable costumes are made for people that don't trick-or-treat in 70-degree weather. Yeah. But it was
some cool inflatables, the ones where it was the
dinosaur.
The dinosaurs or the chicken. We were riding a chicken.
Yes.
Cool ones this year.
I saw somebody on Instagram, and I'm sorry if you're listening now and it was yours, and I've cannot remember whose it was, but their kid was... abducted by aliens and did you see it too? Who was that?
There was a couple of those in the I didn't see it on social media, but there was a couple of those in my neighborhood. That's what I was referencing. It was just you were the person being held by the alien behind
and the costume was behind you. Yeah.
It was we saw at least two of them while we were out, and it was just so bizarre and funny to
yes. But that's the inflatable you need to get because you can at least breathe.
Exactly. It's probably much cooler because it's all the parts of your body that are prone to overheating are out.
Yes.
Not in the balloon.
When we ended up, so we went trick-or-treating with Jay's family at first, and then I took Zach, once it was dark, to the neighborhood behind us to trick-or-treat with his friends. And he totally changed costumes into the costume he wore last year because he just was I am done with the SpongeBob costume. Yeah. And then it ended up, there was crazy lightning, and we ended up having to cut trick-or-treating short with them in the dark, and we came back, and within 2 minutes of us coming back, the sky opened and it was pouring rain. So we made it back just in time.
Oh, that's good luck, though.
It
That's
was.
great that you got back in time. That
Yeah.
nobody got drenched. A wet costume sounds like the worst.
Well, can you imagine if he was in that SpongeBob costume?
I mean, he could just lie backwards and just.
It would have been like in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Turn him on the side, just roll him home.
That whole
hydrobleeding.
Inside the costume, it like blew up, but there was like a little fan too, but it's very little and it would have short circuited. It would have filled up with water. Like it would have been so miserable. So
yeah, it sounds a little dangerous at that point.
Thankfully, it all worked out, but it was still fun. And they got so many Tootsie Rolls this year, which is my jam. So I've been really excited. I'm like hyped up on like 20 Tootsie Rolls right now. I'm not going to lie.
I'm going to get my COVID booster tomorrow. So I'm planning on getting some like post-Halloween discounted candy.
Oh,
nice.
You know, like little girl is still too young for trick-or-treating, and like we live on the 6th floor of an apartment building. Nobody's trick-or-treating here, so we didn't buy any candy.
Yeah.
Especially when you all said how expensive candy was. So we've been candyless.
True story.
And it's been terrible. So I am hoping to rectify that tomorrow.
Nice.
We bought one bag for our just in case. It was a tiny bag from Walmart, like tiny. It was literally like just in case, and it was $6.
Ooh.
Which I understand makes me sound like an old lady yelling at the clouds, but that was it was like 30 pieces, and it was like $6.
That should be like two for $6.
Exactly.
Like, come on. Like, it's not. And I'm sure it's not like Ghirardelli. Like, we're not talking like.
No, it was like Snickers, Starburst, like, you know, your normal, like, there weren't even Reese's in there. But this year, actually,
Your mid-level crap candy.
Exactly. But this year, we actually had trick-or-treaters, which we never had before. So we went through all the candy, which was very surprising. That never happens. We've had the only time we've had trick-or-treaters was when we did the trunk or treat and drove our car there with our candy.
Nice. Well, the neighborhood is changing.
Yes, exactly. So, anyway, Halloween was fun. I was very happy that the costumes worked out after all that stress.
Amen.
Last minute announcements. Next week, Melody Simpson will be on. That'll be November 8th we're recording. Very excited to talk to her about her website, Melanin in YA, and get some recommendations from her, since I read a whole book last month and I'm looking to read another book. So, woohoo. Broad's Giving will be live over Zoom on Tuesday, November 22nd. We'll try to keep that, contained within an hour and 15 minutes, so we can have very little editing just because of the holiday season, the holiday that week. So we hope you can join us. Same Zoom link as the Halloween party. It will be on, again, Tuesday, November 22nd. We hope you can join us. We will actually be off the week of November 15th. So that would be the episode that comes out on November 18th. So we will not have a new episode that week. So we'll have the one with Melody that will come out on November 11th. And then we will see you all on the 22nd for Broad's Giving. Yay! So come with what you're thankful for and anything you want to spotlight for giving back to the community in general. We would love to hear from you. And no costumes required, just you.
If you wanted to wear a turkey costume, though, wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah, wouldn't be mad.
No, man, wear a costume, go,
Why do you have to put that in my head now?
Sorry. If you want to do one of those, like when you're a little kid, like the turkey hands out of paper and you like make it into a crown, if you want to do that, that's totally fine. Just spitballing here, throwing some ideas out.
Okay, well, obviously, now I've got to do all those things.
Or don't.
Or, yeah.
That's fine, too.
That's fine, too. I think that's about it. So we got Patience New Standard, Broad's Giving, we're off, Melody. All right, I've checked all the boxes. I guess the only other PSA again is please go vote.
Please go vote.
Please go do it. We're going to early vote. Our plan is to go tomorrow, so you know, if you have that option, please just go vote. It's an important midterms. Literally, democracy is on the ballot.
Gosh, I look forward to the election cycle where democracy is not on the ballot, because I feel like we've been saying that for a while now, and I'm just like, I realize this is coming from a place of privilege when I say it, but I am exhausted, guys.
Yep. But we keep going. Because as exhausted as we are, there are people that are more exhausted because they literally live it every single day. And
the stakes are a little higher. We are lucky in the fact that it will suck, but yeah.
Exactly. All right, anything else before we move on?
No, ma'am.
Cool. All right, I will give you guys options for the next section because I pulled up a couple things. Okay. The first thing is we could finish the blue text stories from last week, which were more of the like, I lost something and then it mysteriously showed up in a place that was unexpected type stories, aka not scary. Generally not involving spirits per se. Or we can do an Am I the Asshole? Or two. Up to you guys. What would you prefer to hear?
I think I'm leaning towards Am I the Asshole?
All right. Shandy Pants?
That works for me.
Alrighty. All right, let's see. I got a couple tabs open here. For perspective ones, pick a number between 1 and 4. And that's the one I'm going to read.
3.
3? Okay. 3. So tab 3, which is actually tab like 17 here, but tab 3 of Am I the Asshole stories I pulled up. All right. This one is, am I the asshole for asking my friend to move a picture of him and his wife because it made my wife uncomfortable? Okay. Me, 32 male, and my wife, Dahlia, 28 female, lost our apartment 2 months ago and moved in with my mom temporarily. Issues began to arise between Dahlia and my mom, and I had to ask my friend Anthony, 31-year-old male, to let us move in with him until I got enough money to rent out. His wife was away visiting family, and he agreed, but even there, some issues started to arise. FYI, Dahlia is very shy around Anthony. She grew up in a conservative home, so it's understandable, but sometimes it could be a bit much, and I admit that. For example, she freaked out when she accidentally drank from Anthony's glass. She also made a fuss when he passed by the guest room when she was laying down and the door was open. Thankfully, Anthony was super understanding and we were able to talk some of these issues out. Last night, Dahlia was passing the hall and noticed a framed picture of Anthony and his wife kissing that was hanging on the wall. She told me about it and said it made her uncomfortable. She asked if I could speak to Anthony about it, but he didn't take it well. He gave me a look when I spoke to him and said that this was bonkers because first of all, his wife put it there. And second of all, the picture holds sentimental meaning to him and his wife and argued that it wasn't some explicit picture of them, just a normal wedding kiss. We started arguing and he said that it wasn't like it was hanging in the living room wall or a perfectly lit room. I asked him to be a little more considerate because it's not like I asked him to remove it completely, just move it somewhere else that Dahlia won't see or keep it off the wall until we leave. He said he was sorry but still refused. I explained how Dahlia was feeling, but he said that again he was sorry but he was not going to move the picture. We argued some more and he said that it's his house and I was being pushy and kind of too comfortable to make such a demand and be pushy still. This morning, Dahlia refused to come out of the room until the picture is moved. Anthony is refusing, which makes it worse. Now I feel like I'm getting stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, she might be overreacting, but I feel like this isn't such a big ask for Anthony to decline and turn down. For what it's worth, if it was me, I'd go the extra mile to make sure my guests are comfortable. Anthony's been a friend of mine for 10 years. I wouldn't have asked to move in with him if I didn't have such a strong bond with him. He himself constantly talks about all the things and situations I've helped him out with and that we are considered brothers. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% yes. Because
Sorry,
there's
friend, but you are.
I feel like there's conservative and there's whatever the fuck is going on with your wife that needs therapy.
Yeah. You're already on your second home because it didn't work out in the first one that y'all were staying at with your mother. Because the wife had issues with the mother. Now the wife is having issues with the new person. Yeah, again, They're housing you. It's not the other way around.
Yeah, it sounds like the problem is your wife, dude.
Yeah.
Also, like, that's crazy. And if you're laying down on a bed and you don't want someone to see you, shut the fucking door.
Shut the door.
Yeah.
Shut the door.
Yeah.
That is a you problem that you can solve for yourself.
Yep.
Right? I agree. I figured you guys were going to go that direction, but that was so fucking crazy that I feel like I truly, truly had to just read it because, oh my God, that is nuts. Okay, one more, because this one actually made me laugh hysterically. Am I the asshole for laughing at my mother-in-law when she ate my snacks and got way too high? Spoiler, the answer is no, but the story is hilarious, so we're gonna go for it.
Oh, wait, there's more? I thought that was it.
My wife and I just moved back to her hometown. We love living in the big city, but we agreed when we got married that we would, and that when we started a family, we would move to a small town. Sort of sucks, but I'm only a 45-minute drive from a theater and good restaurants. It's not like we are in the middle of the woods. I'm hoping he meant like a play theater, not a movie theater, like a live action.
That's true.
And a good restaurant.
Yes, like I know.
There's
right?
like small town and then there's small town.
Yeah. So we live in Canada. Weed is fully legal here. I like to make weed butter and cook with it. I make brownies or fudge, and my wife and I both partake. Well, not her so much right now because she is breastfeeding. My wife insisted we give her mom a 4 emergency key. I disagreed, but I lost the vote. So, to be fair, I think that everybody should have a family member that has a 4 emergency key, as long as they're trustworthy. Because, as I learned over the summer when I thought I lost my ID, it is very important for somebody to be able to get into your house.
There are keys all over town to my old apartment. Like, that's for sure. But my question is, how can you lose the vote when there are only 2 of you voting?
The baby was also for
She had the baby's proxy vote, so really.
Right. I gave birth to our baby, therefore my vote counts twice.
All right.
So we talked about it. I said I was fine, but only for emergencies. She wasn't supposed to use it to come over and clean up or anything like that. Her mom agreed, and we gave her the key. Well, she followed the rule for about 2 months. My wife is out of town in the city for the weekend visiting friends. Since it's a 2-hour drive to that side of the city, she's just staying there. I came home last night and found my mother-in-law high as a kite in my living room. She decided that since my wife was out of town, I needed a home-cooked meal. One thing led to another, and she's found some of my special fudge.
Oh, God.
It's actually very sweet. She thought he needed, like, she was trying to do something nice, I think.
But, like, maybe cook it at yourself and then bring it over.
Right?
Right. Perhaps a little misplaced, but like...
Like, this is exactly why he didn't want to give.
Right, he just didn't want to come home and find somebody fucking stoned as shit in his house. Anyway, she was so high that all she was doing was staring at the TV. Indica will do that to you. I called my wife and I was laughing my ass off.
Did she know what was happening to her?
Presumably she was so high she didn't know anything at the time. She's giving me shit for letting her mom get high and for laughing at her mom.
No, he didn't let her get high.
I told you.
She did that all on her own.
The spoiler was he's not the asshole. It's just about the story. My mother-in-law is currently resting in the guest bedroom. My wife's stepdad came to get her, but she's not moving. Stepdad and I had a few beers and we watched the Blue Jays get destroyed. She came into our home. I love that he's literally like watching the Blue Jays with his stepfather-in-law and writing this "Am I the asshole?" post.
It's cute.
She came into our home. She ate my stuff without permission. I'm really not upset. She's super helpful. She's always been nice to me. I just think it's hilarious. But my wife says I'm an asshole for laughing at her mom. Am I?
No. It's inherently funny. And it's not like laughing like at her standing there face. Like it's a funny story.
I mean, he's literally laughing in her face, but she doesn't know what's going on.
It's not like a pointing and laughing thing. It's
See, this is a teachable moment. Perhaps the mother-in-law will learn something from this. When you do exactly the thing that your son-in-law was afraid you would do, i.e., use the key in a way it was not intended to, then the universe might make you stoned out of your mind.
It's so funny. I think it's so
a story
funny.
they all laugh about at family events in the future.
Although, okay, he did post an update because after people were asking him in the comments the same questions you asked, Amanda, this was from a day or so later, and he said, edit with a small update. I just talked to my mother-in-law. She absolutely knew what she was eating. She said she just hasn't had any weed in a while, and she was expecting more of an experience like Cheech and Chong, not the genetically modified hybrid weed that I buy.
Wow.
So he's extra, not the asshole. Yeah.
It's so funny, though.
It really is funny.
Like it's funny because you know that, like, you know, she just took like pot brownies, and it wasn't like, you know.
Gotta be careful
Like
with those edibles.
Yeah, everyone turned out fine in the end. Like nothing bad happened.
She was in a safe space.
She was in a safe space.
Exactly. Oh my god.
TV. Looking at the TV.
Oh, so funny. All right. That's those are the two I got.
Those are very good.
Okay. I'm like dot.
So then the order was perfect also.
Okay, yes. So one was the asshole, one was not the asshole. Both involved people in other people's apartments. Just drastically different outcomes.
Yeah.
Had a real theme.
Yeah.
And relationships with one's in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. On that note, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do some feedback, and then we'll call it a show. Be right back.
Sounds good.
All right, we're back, and we're ready to get into some feedback. The first bit of feedback is from Matt, and Matt says, I forgot if I mentioned this before, but I recently finished Cultish, the Language of Fanaticism by
Fanaticism?
Fanaticism. Was I right the first time? Fanaticism?
Fanaticism.
Okay. By Amanda Montell. It's about how cults use language to indoctrinate its members, from Jonestown to Heaven's Gate to MAGAs and Peloton. I also recently picked up Off With Her Head, 3,000 Years of Demonizing Women in Power by Eleanor Herman. But the title doesn't sound like anything the three of you would be interested in. Heavy sarcasm. It's funny though. Okay, so MAGAs, yes. Like, clearly, if you've... Tucker Carlson is a masterclass on how to fucking indoctrinate people in real time. But it's funny that he mentions Peloton, because all of those like Peloton, even Pure Barre, like, they all use, like, very specific language. Yeah. Like, you can do anything for 10 seconds. Like, make this, you're working on, your last 10, make that your best 10. Get your...
And like, making it into community, which isn't necessarily a bad thing to, like,
exactly, yes.
I think that I've heard this person on a podcast episode as, like, a guest, because this is sounding very familiar.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was really interesting if it's the same person, and also probably interesting if it's not.
Yeah.
Either way.
It's just an interesting subject matter.
Yeah.
I agree. There's something about, like, building community and also, like, radicalizing people.
Right. That's the bad part. That's the bad part.
And I don't think...
Because one is just the extreme of the other, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily think that, like, I mean, I have a Peloton, but, like, I don't do anything outside of just, like, the cycle rides. And maybe Got... I don't think Got does either outside of that, but, like... just speaking from experience with, like, Pure Barre stuff, like, a lot of it's, like, very, like, the same motivational phrases you say over and over again, but it's not something, like, that it might make me, be like, okay, you're right, 10 seconds. I can do 10 more, like, crunches or some whatever it is. But it doesn't make me, like, want to, like, ride or die for Pure Barre. Like, nobody's going to be like, go to this person's house, go to the Peloton leader's house and assault their husband if you can't find them because you want to, like, ride or die for us at Pure Barre.
Yeah. I mean, not saying that they would all either go and assault,
Well, I mean,
these 80-something-year-old men, but like
some of those examples
comes to mind as well,
Yeah.
Again, not saying that they're gonna go assault people, but like, this is like the running joke of like people who CrossFit it's almost like Fight Club, like
it is a very intense means of exercise.
Yes,
and like people who are into it are very into it and talk about it a lot, which again, nothing wrong with, necessarily. So it's working for them. That's great.
Yeah,
but same type of thing.
Right. And I would, if it's telling you like, you only do our thing, you can't do anything else, or you're betraying the Peloton CrossFit family. Yeah.
Well, in Peloton, I mean, there is like a financial component because those bikes are not cheap.
No, they're not. Although if you got them at the right time, they were significantly less money. And they actually went down even more from when we got it.
Wow.
Another, I believe it was and I could be wrong, but I swear to God, I saw advertisements that they had gone down to like 1,500 or 1,300, like even for like the bigger, like even for like the more expensive ones, even further down than they had been. So, but yeah, that's still a lot of money. It's still a really lot of money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if you make it exclusively,
but
well, right, but still, it's like you could do cycling in a lot of different ways,
Yeah,
you could.
But if you get hooked onto the Peloton way, then you have to buy the bike, and then that's
right.
Yeah,
the E2M program that I've paid the one time, and now I'm like in it for life with all their like live streaming stuff. They have bike rides, which I've never done, but I probably should check out.
Nice.
Because they're free, included with the program that I have now paid for the rest of my life. So, and it was, less than 1/10 of the price of a Peloton. So, good times. But I feel like if it's something that's going to improve your life and like better your health and like, in a positive way, that maybe that stuff isn't so bad. But obviously, the way that Matt is presenting it, like, Jonestown, bad. Heaven's Gate, bad. MAGA, very bad. So, good times. And we'll have to check out the Off With Her Head book.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
He also adds some streaming news this week for the Sex Lives of College Girls Season 2. Girls 5 Eva is moving to Netflix with a 3rd season.
Yes!
I know.
You actually watch it.
So excited. Season 2 was really fun, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did.
Well, as soon as it comes to Netflix.
Yeah.
I will watch it, I promise.
Excellent. I'm glad for them. They're moving on up.
Yeah. And Sex Lives of College Girls, I believe it's sometime in November.
Oh, I hope so.
Exciting.
If not this coming week, the following.
Oh man, okay.
Very exciting.
I feel like I want to say the 11th, but I don't think that's right.
Okay.
But somewhere in the teens of November.
Okay.
Well, let's look it up. Sex Lives of
really
College
specific
Girls.
information is what you come here to listen to, guys. we give you the facts that you need.
November 17th.
Hey. One of the teen years.
Literally
kind of in the middle.
To right.
I'm so excited. I
100%
love the
right.
first season. I think I need to do a rewatch. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I think it would be helpful to do a rewatch, yeah.
And then, I found out why I accidentally rewatched the Unsolved Mysteries. So they're releasing them in sets of 3. So there's actually 9. And so it came out, I think they came out on Tuesdays. So when I finished watching it on Monday and realized that I had restarted one that I'd already seen, it's because And then when I refreshed it on Tuesday, it's because it was literally a new set had come out that Tuesday. So it had, done its thing where it like played So Good Times, the last set of 3 came out today. I'm excited to watch it. I'm currently on episode 3 or 4 of Alaska Daily.
Any good?
Yeah, it's a change of pace. It's more character developy with a mystery. But the mystery is
my kind of show. I like that kind of thing.
Yeah, it reminds me of oh shit. What was the show that Kate Winslet did? Where
Mare of Easttown?
Yes, it's kind of like that. Where like the mystery is very heavy throughout the whole thing, but there's a lot of side characters that take up a lot of screen time too, where you're kind of getting the feel for everybody there. And I like it so far. It was very slow until the end of the first episode. I will say that I was on my phone a bit during the first episode, just because, and it plays into like you got canceled trope a lot, which is very annoying because you're supposed to. So essentially, Hilary Swank's character moves to Alaska because she worked for a big newspaper in New York City, and she published a story without the proper sourcing, and got canceled as a result of it because she was also kind of an asshole to everyone in the newsroom. And once it came out that this sourcing wasn't correct, people started leaking to tabloids that she was kind of a bitch, which we saw she was. So then the whole thing is I got canceled in New York and had to restart in Alaska. And that is a big pet peeve of mine because being canceled isn't being canceled. It's literally facing the fucking consequences of your actions.
Right.
And that is a huge annoyance of mine. Whenever somebody paints themselves as a victim of being canceled, when we clearly see that they're a fucking asshole.
Right.
But aside from that, and I'm sure because it's a feel-good show at the end of the day, that she'll probably learn her lesson because we already kind of see her making bonds with the little people of Alaska. But I like it so far. Hopefully by the time we record next week, I will have finished it and I'll let you know.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. It is. Well, look at that. It's time for That's What She Said.
I just want to see you perform.
We're being effective.
Keep going. Keep going.
I'm going to put this in there.
No climax, no anything.
Boo.
Boo hiss.
We should do that one of these months.
It really looks like kink.
The first time I switched hands, I had to pay.
Oh, this is a good one.
Wait, the one I was about to read?
Yeah.
The first time I switched hands, I had to pay attention to that.
Not everybody is ambidextrous.
Oh, yeah, I suppose not.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh, fuck.
It is your turn. Yeah. Sorry.
I was like, wait, is it me?
No, just my eyes.
Sit on that for a little while.
It absorbed it really quick.
I want to see it.
I want to see it. Isn't that a vagina monologue?
I think he liked to look at it.
He liked to look at it. The one I did. That's my favorite. Clearly,
Yeah,
I'm losing my mind. Yeah. I want to see it. It really grew on me.
And then I kept going.
We can bang through that pretty quick.
I will be coming with that. We're very funny, ladies. Very always. All right, I guess we'll finish up with this work week in Andy's virginity. Would you guys like me to read it as a special Halloween gift to each of you?
Sure.
Halloweeny.
Can you do it in a Halloween voice?
Hey, it is Day of the Dead, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
All
that's
Saints
We're
Day.
cute. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's the day that, it's the Coco Day.
Dude, so I'm so glad that I watched that movie for multiple reasons. But it was, I think I told you guys pretty recently. And we went to this Mexican restaurant last week and they had a Dia de los Muertos altar set up with
Really?
somebody's like obituary from like 2014, and so it was like to that person, and they had food set out, and it was like fake food. It was like plastic food.
Yeah.
But like Frank made some comment about like just like, oh, interesting, and I was like, well, did you know what?
I actually know a little something about this. Thank you, Pixar.
I learned it. Coco.
Oh,
I love that
I wanted to
movie.
rewatch that this holiday
That would be
season.
Why didn't we do that for our holiday viewing? Halloween.
I did it
holiday.
I
Because
did it
Amanda
last year.
did it
It's
last
part
year.
of my it's part of my Halloween. I did it last year.
But it's so good. It makes me
But you can
cry
watch-
every single time.
It's one you could do every year. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll push for that to be movie night this week.
Oh, good choice.
Ooh.
Because it's so good. Remember me. Remember me. Oh, all right. All right. We've got this work week in Andy's virginity. And Andy says, "Hey, broads. As I predicted, the temp was a no-show Thursday, and the other guy disappeared as fast as he came back.
Oh no.
He's still listed as on leave, so whether he actually returns for good yet is to be seen. Or rather, so whether he returns for good is yet to be seen. Reading is hard.
It is. It's okay.
It did spur me to talk to my manager about what is going on with me. While I didn't bring up money, I was encouraged to cash in my paid time off that I've been banking all this year since I didn't feel like I could take it. So at least I won't have a full week of work the rest of the year and most of Christmas, the week of Christmas off too. Take it all off.
Yes, take it all.
Do
That
it.
is an entitlement. Not.
That's not entitlement. That is what you fucking deserve.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an entitlement.
That's true.
You accumulate it, like you
worked for that time
It
off.
is owed you.
It is owed to you.
It
yeah.
is. It is part of your agreement with the company.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Place of employment.
I also have 2 separate doctor's appointments this week following up on the appointment I had right as the guy went on leave. So I won't hear this until after. Wish me luck. Hashtag I'm with hers, Andy. Good luck, Andy.
Good luck.
And accrued. That's the word I was looking for. Accumulated. I mean, same. But you've accrued it. Take it. That's great. And then bring money up next time.
Yes.
Get that raise.
Get it. Get that money.
Hashtag get that money, bitch. But seriously, for real, yes.
I will say I've had a lot of short weeks lately also because I was like out of town this last weekend and I was out of town the weekend before.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think I'm taking like next Monday off as well. And then there's a holiday and then I'm out of town and it's pretty nice. I still haven't calculated exactly what I'm going to be left with like once we get down to Christmas time. But I've been kind of enjoying this ride. So enjoy it, Andy. It's great to come back. Last week I came back on a Tuesday and by Thursday night, it's like, well, see y'all next week.
It's also just like important for like your mental well-being.
God,
you're a better employee when you sort of take that time.
Yeah, it is true.
Just the person that worked through most of her vacations this year, but whatever.
No.
I'm planning on taking a lot of time at the end of the year to do that and recharge them batteries because you need to do it so you are more efficient at your job and you are a better human being.
Yes. And just happier.
And happier. Exactly.
Exactly. Agreed. Well, hope everything went well with your doctor's appointment, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And again, congrats on the time off.
Indeed.
All right. Anything else to talk about before we leave? I can read a couple of the blue stories, or we could just go to sleep. That works too. All right.
I defer to Shandy.
I'm sensing sleepy time. Sleepy time. Ooh. All right, on that note, everyone, thank you for listening. We appreciate it. If you'd like to give us some feedback, you can do so by emailing us at thebroadcasters3@gmail.com, or you can give us a call, 331-276-2373. If you have any feedback for us, please hit those things up. We appreciate it. Thank you to the patrons, especially the ones that contribute at a certain level, and that'd be Eckhart Rickner, Attack from Tokyo, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, and Ed, the creepy poopy head mailman. Thank you guys so much. Listen to the other shows on the network, and that would include Survivor with Jamie, Joe, Jack, and Colleen. That's me.
Hooray!
And sometimes Elena.
And sometimes Elena, who did freaking fantastic. I think that we're just going to fire Jack and have Elena replace her all the time. And you know what?
I like the Women's Alliance. Also, I'm not caught up on last week, so just no spoilers.
Oh, you don't know who went home?
I do not, so...
Oh, shit!
I know. I've been doing a good job of keeping it on the...
Wow.
Keeping it spoiler-free.
Well, then I will not say who that person was.
Was it exciting? Was it surprising?
No.
Sorry. I don't have a
It
horse
was
in this race.
surprising. It was surprising, but also they set it up throughout the episode. I will or will not say, Shandy, earmuffs. I might need a new winner's pick. The end.
I can't remember who your winner's pick
I know, I
was.
figured you couldn't, which is why I gave you very minimal warning. I was like, oh, she's not.
Okay. But that probably means it was somebody really good. Okay. I'll catch up.
You'll catch up.
Soon.
You'll catch up. It'll be so super fun. Anyway, yeah. Also, the Ramblecast After Dark. They are doing things too. And Owen Baru's Barbecue. Best podcast name. It's my favorite podcast name ever. Owen and Baru's Barbecue. If you don't get the reference, Google it. I don't know what to tell you.
You're clearly not a real fan.
You're not really a Star Wars fan. Ooh, I just gave it away. They're doing their Andor shit. So really, I mean, it's just great. Great times all around. Oh, and The Amazing Race. I forgot. The Amazing Race with Jack and Cindy. We're like podcasting up the wazoo.
Wow. There's like a full roster again.
Yeah.
I feel like for a while it was like just us.
I know. Once TV stopped during 2020, it was literally like us and the Ramblecast.
Everybody's back now.
Everybody's doing their thing now.
And that's great. The more the merrier.
Super great. Yeah, so check out the other shows on the network. Leave us a review. We haven't asked for that in like 2 years, speaking of 2020. It's been like at least that long. I mean, do that. That's cool too. If you have any questions for Melody next week, send those in as well. And get your broad giving face on. Make your little palm headband thing. Turkey head. I was like, what did I do the palm thing for? All right. Well, on that note, everybody, thank you for listening. We appreciate it. And we'll talk to you next week. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.